Hi everyone, welcome back to my page. My name is Sade Simone. In this video, this is going to be the last video talking about the starter makeup kit. In this one, we're talking about brushes, cleaners, what do I put them in, my bags, as well as sponges and wipes and whatnot. So with this one, let's go on and get started with brushes. Brushes are a necessity if you want to actually get into makeup with applying it correctly and you want it to look its best. Now you can not use brushes, but your makeup won't go on as smoothly, and there's also ways to be able to put on like your eyeshadow and things like that. So I'm starting with the eyeshadow brushes, and then I'll move on into the big brushes as far as like powders and blush brushes and whatnot. So there's three different companies that I use. The first one is that I use Real Technique brushes, as well as I use Wet n Wild's. Actually four. Real Techniques, Wet n Wild's, EcoTools, and then e.l.f. I have not moved into using Morphe brushes, which are all low price. All of these are drugstore prices, which means you can get a full starter set for like $20, and then you just gradually add on to it. And I'll talk about prices in just a second. This one, and it came with, there. These are the Real Technique set. This one came together for like $15. And this is for your eyes. It comes with one for your lashes or possibly eyebrows, and then it comes with 3 other brushes. Now my favorite 2 brushes out of this one are these 2. This one will be like an all over, as well as can get into your crease a little bit, and then this one will be for more dramatic in the crease. I love these 2 out of this set. This is a really good set. The brushes are really soft, and also you're able to see when they're clean because they have a white tip to them. So that kind of helps too, especially with me having brown skin. I kind of want to see my brushes actually get clean, so not assume that they're clean. I love those products. They're great. Great for budget-friendly people, as well as if you're just looking for something just to get started in, because you don't want to invest a lot of money into something that you're just not learning. The next one that I have, and I only have one of them, is Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild makes a lot of really great brushes. Also, they're cruelty-free as well. These are really great brushes, and they're really inexpensive. They're like $2-3 each, and you can get them from like Walgreens, Walmart, places like that. With this one, this is just a blending brush that I have. I also used to have a flat brush that I really liked for when it came to putting it on powder and whatnot, but I let my daughter hold it, and now it's gone, and that's her play toy. And I don't mind because it's inexpensive, but this one's a really good blending brush, and it's really fluffy, and it has a little pink top to it. It's pretty cute. The next 2 that I have, I love these 2 brushes, and I just wanted to get them because I wanted to be able to try out different brushes instead of staying with the brushes that I normally use. I wanted to be able to tell you different types that you're able to get that's within a budget. These 2 brushes are double-headed brushes. My very first set of brushes that I got were double-headed brushes, and they were real inexpensive, and I love them, and I wore them, and I used them for a really long time. These are EcoTool brushes, and with these brushes they have the regular shade one, and then they have a defined one, which is the angle tip. With this one it has a smudger, and then this one it has the blender. So you get these, it's actually 4 brushes because they're double-headed, and you get that for like $5-6. That is a steal. That is a wonderful steal. So if you ever see them and you want to get started with like eyeshadows and whatnot, go on and grab those, because that's a good way for you to be able to get started and you're not spending a lot of money. Now the next brushes that I have, all of these are e.l.f. brushes. e.l.f. has really stepped up their game in the last couple of years. I remember growing up and you were able to get their little dollar makeup and whatnot, and so I got that when I was first starting off, and then all of a sudden e.l.f. came through and just has been shutting it down. They have so much inexpensive products as well as makeup, and they're wonderful prices. Wonderful prices, wonderful quality, especially for the price of them. Many of their brushes range between $1 for their regular basic like white ones, and then $2 and $3 for their black, which is their higher quality products, and goes all the way up to $6. And then they have the really nice ones, which are the silver ones. I have not gotten any of the silver ones. So with these, this is what I have. These are not all the brushes, but these are the ones that are my favorite. My first favorite one is this one. It's the double-headed brush. It has a spoolie on one end, and then it has the angled tip on the other end. I use this one for my eyebrows, the spoolie for my eyebrows, and then I use the other end for my pomade. So then I'm able to sculpt out my eyebrows and use that. I use this one all the time. Matter of fact, this is a brand new one because my other one just broke. And you don't also, they are not as durable as your expensive brushes, but you don't mind spending $3 for another brush when it lasts you for 6-7 months. So they last a very long time if you take care of them. My other two brushes that I really like, one is the flathead. This is the one that I use for anytime that I need to put any type of concealer in my eyebrows, as well as putting concealer on my face before I blend it out. I love this little flat eyeliner brush, as well as they have an angled one, and that one's pretty great for when you're putting doing a cut crease and whatnot. The next ones are for blending out as well as contouring. This one's a little makeup on it, sorry about that, a little pink makeup. The first one is a blender, and that one is named blending brush. So it's just fluffy at the top, and it's a good blender brush. This one is a contour for your eyes. This one gets deep into that crease, and then you're able to contour and blend it. I love their brushes. They're soft, they're easy to clean out and everything. They're wonderful brushes. Now these next brushes are bigger brushes for your face. This one is a mineral powder brush, and I just recently started using this brush, and it's a fluffier brush, and you kind of can use this for highlight, for blending out highlights, as well as doing blushes. I kind of just keep this one around because it's a really good little brush to be able to have when you need to have some quick brushes sitting inside of your kit for when you're traveling or going to work, which I will talk about in a second. This is a tapered head brush. I use this for dual use for blushes as well as highlights, and it's a tapered head brush. And my other one, this one is my all over powder brush. I love this fluffy brush. I have two of them. I end up getting two of them. The first one I used it for multiple purposes. Then I end up losing it. So then I end up getting another one. Then the one that I lost popped back up. So now I have one that I use for my blushes, and then I have one that I use for my powder all over my face. And also I may use the same one that I use for my powder. I may also use that one for my bronzer. So I use these for multiple different uses because, one, I don't have enough space to have that many brushes on me like when I'm going other places. So that's why I may use this for dual uses. This is my love. I have not found another inexpensive brush that works as well as this. I have heard that the Real Technique brush works as well as this one as well. I had to clean it because it was looking a little grimy. This one is the Ultimate Blending Brush. I use this one for all of my foundation. So as soon as I put my foundation on, I start stippling all over my face. This one, I love it. It's a big size brush. You're able to handle it well. And also the way that the bristles are together and the bristle heads are together. Oh, it's such an awesome brush. I love it so much. Those span, like this one would be around $6. All the other ones are either $6 or cheaper. So they're very, very good for budget friendly. What I did was, instead of me buying a big kit, which you can buy kits with e.l.f. brushes, what I did was I went and spent a little bit of money and bought some brushes. Then I went back and bought some more brushes. So I just took my time to build up the amount of brushes I have. I do not expect anyone to go out and say, hey, let me spend $40 on some e.l.f. brushes. No, you accidentally end up spending that type of money on the e.l.f. brushes because you just buy them up little by little. They have some really good sets where you can get the majority of these brushes that I just showed you in a set. I would buy that if you are interested in that. And the last set of brushes that I wanted to mention, Morphe. Morphe has really, really great brushes. I've heard wonderful recommendations about their brushes. And I have not bought their brushes yet because I have these and I just haven't gotten online to spend money on new brushes just yet because these are working out pretty well. Probably in my next following videos, I will have the Morphe brushes and I'll try them out. Now I wanted to get into sponges. Now I've heard multiple different things about sponges. Some people like the sponges, some people don't like the sponges. With me, I have not used a beauty blender before. I've only used Real Technique sponges, the orange one. looks like this. And this one is dry. It is not wet. What you would do with this is you'll wet it so it's damp. So what I would do is I'll wet it up, squeeze it out, and then I'll put it in a paper towel or a towel and I'll squish it so it gets the moisture out of it. So it's just damp. Using this sponge is the way that I would blend my under eye concealer. And I love doing it that way, as well as I'll blend out a couple other things, such as if I need to do color correcting, like on the middle of my forehead, on the cheeks, and my chin area, I would use the blender for that. From what I understand, it is not as good as a beauty blender, but you get 2 of these for $10 or $11. And a beauty blender is $20 for one. So if you're on a budget and you're looking for something that can be similar to a beauty blender, the Orange Real Technique one is really good. I've been using it for years. All I do is I continue to use it, then I wash it out, then I sanitize it, and keep on using it. I do not break out from using those type of products. And so, mentioning the cleaning process. With these brushes, I clean my brushes, I try to once to twice a week. Also, there's some spot cleaning in between. The spot cleaning, you can get liquid cleaner. This is the Ulta version of it. It's a little bitty little container of it, and it's called brush and sponge cleaner, and it's a little bitty spray bottle. That's for the in-between. Spray it on a paper towel, then you spray it, and then clean your brushes. This is one way that you're able to do it. Now, this one is way that you're able to clean your brushes using actual soap. What it is, it has little ridges in it, and you'll put it underwater, put your hands in it, and then you'll clean your brushes against it, and it'll get all the makeup out, and you'll see it just running out. And when it starts cleaning white, that's when you know it's all the way clean. This is what I use for at least once to twice a week. I love it. It cleans them really, really fast compared to what I was doing before, which was just cleaning them in my hand and not having the scrubbing with it that was getting in the ridges. Now, also, what I did, and I'm just going to let you know now that I rigged something up. So if you use like the gel type liquid for washing your brushes, Real Techniques has one. There's many other ones, but I know I depotted the Real Technique gel brush cleaner. What I did was I put it into a pump. So at the very bottom, you can see like that's the last bit of soap that I have, which means I need to get some more. But that's the last bit of soap that I have. So I put it in an old hand washing container. So when I got finished with it, I just put it aside, and then I poured all of my Real Techniques inside of here. So now while I'm sitting at the sink, I have this in my hand. I pump from here, and then I clean my brushes. It makes it super easy. You don't have to worry about trying to, let me pour it and let me scrub and then have to change hands. You don't have to change any hands. That makes it really, really easy for me. And I know it looks real kind of crazy, and you have to make sure people to make sure that whoever you're living with knows that this is not regular hand soap. So you may want to put another label on it. The next thing that I use also has to deal with taking off my makeup. And sometimes it has to do with cleaning my brushes too, depending on where I'm at and what I have going on. Makeup wipes. So these are just regular makeup wipes. This is where you can get it from. This is the Beauty 360 that you can get at CVS. Any type. The Neutrogena, any kind of makeup wipes that you use, stay with it. The makeup wipes I use to take off my makeup. Sometimes I use them to clean my brushes in between, especially if I'm out of town. That's when I really use the makeup wipes to clean my brushes, because I'm out of town and I don't typically have my cleaner with me, or I may not have my spray with me. Those are the ones that I use. That's when I use those. I absolutely love it. It works really well. Always keep some makeup wipes with you. Even if you use something else to take off your makeup. You may use something else. Some people use coconut oil and then they clean their face with their regular soap. Some people use molecular water, which is what I use as well. And then they wash their face. Whatever you use, just still keep some makeup wipes, because makeup wipes come in handy so much. Even if you're just taking off your makeup to clean it up, to fix something, not necessarily taking it off for the end of the day. The next thing is, I've always talked about how I'm a working mother and how I'm doing these videos for women that are working as well as you're on a budget. So with that being said, I have a 3-year-old. My 3-year-old is an active 3-year-old. I do not have time in the morning to, one, get myself dressed, get her dressed, make sure we have something to eat, and then roll out the house and put my makeup on before we do all of that. So there was one thing that I did. I took a little time for myself. I made sure that we get out the house a little bit earlier, and I get her to daycare a little bit earlier so I can go sit in my parking lot at work and put on my makeup. You're able to sit with the air blowing in your face, and you're able to cool off, listen to the radio, calm down, do your prayer, do your meditation, whatever you need to do during that time. But it's your time. So you're actually taking back a little bit of time for yourself and getting your mind together before you go into work. So I would sit and put on my makeup. And it worked out so that I wasn't sweating, I wasn't hot, I wasn't running all over the place trying to make sure I get everything before we get out the house, and I was settled and pulled together before work. What I did was, instead of me having my makeup in this tiny little makeup bag, which didn't fit any of my makeup because, one, my products are large. Like, for instance, you have foundation, your spray, then you put eyeshadow palette that takes up a lot of space. So what I did was I got one of those travel totes, kind of like this one. I can't show you my old one. It looks really, really bad. It looks really, really bad. I bought another one. So with this one, this is one of those little travel totes that you would get for if you're traveling out of town. But in your case, this is just for your makeup for work. And so what you do is take all your favorites, whatever you reach to every single day, that's what you would do. And this has to take a lot of planning. So what I would do is at night, I would say, okay, well, I'm wearing this, so I need to pull this lipstick, this whatever, whatnot, and I'll have it in my bag. In this bag, you need to make sure that you have lots of lots of storage spaces. Like at the top, this one has a pocket. This is where I probably will put my lip glosses, lipsticks, lip liners, because that's my last step. So I'll put that at the top. And I know you already have lipstick in your purses and stuff, but this will be just for the ones that you want to keep in your makeup kit. Then you need to have storage inside. This one has a lot of storage inside. This is where you will put like an eyeshadow palette, as well as you'll put your setting spray, and you'll put your foundation. That's where this will go in. And you may want to put a couple other things in here that are larger. So, and I'm not saying you're not going to fill it up, but at least it gives you space. Then you would have, in this one, you have even more. This is if you want to put brushes here, and then you have another storage space. Make sure you have zipper storage spaces, not one that's all dump all, but just some zipper storage spaces. And there's another zipper storage space. You will be able to compact and categorize your whole area and be able to have everything you need for when you go to work. I hope that this video is able to help you, be able to help you organize, be able to help you pick out some products that you like. If you ever have a question, please put it in the comment section. And again, if you ever want to see any of my makeup content, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.